The Philadelphia 76ers just lost their 8th game of the season, giving them a 2-8 record through their first 10 games so far this year. This is the worst start to a season since the 2016-2017 season for them. I'm going to put up the starting lineup from their 10th game from that season. Gerald Henderson, Sergio Rodriguez, Dario Saric, Joel Embiid, and Robert Covington. That's what we're comparing this team to right now, record-wise. But the Sixers have Joel Embiid and Paul George both in the starting lineup right now. Will they be able to overcome this huge deficit they have already put themselves in, or are they actually on the brink of not making the playoffs this season? Let's take a look. So it seems like the Joel Embiid saga is officially over now, as despite the suspension and the injury, Embiid finally took the court against the New York Knicks late Tuesday night. And despite the loss, he was all right, to say the least. He was going out there and he was playing not at 100%. It didn't look like he was really up to playing shape, but he still went out there and he did put up a few good shots. Paul George was really the guy who took over for this game for the Sixers out of that big three with 29 points and 10 rebounds. But the main person that was missing from this game was Tyrese Maxey, as he is still dealing with an injury at this point, and we may not see the big three of Philadelphia that was built in this offseason with Paul George until late November to early December, which could be a very, very bad problem for the Sixers if they continue to skid throughout these next 10, 15 games, however long it takes for Maxey to come back. I would expect him to be back by early December at the latest. It seems like they say a few weeks until he could come back with that hamstring injury. But as we know, the Sixers definitely are not going to rush him coming back. I mean, this is a franchise type player, so they don't want to risk injuries, as we've seen with Joel Embiid also. Now, in Embiid's return game, he did play 26 minutes, where he should be ramping up to get to maybe 30 plus minutes, hopefully, within the next few weeks as well. Put up 13 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. So by his standards, not a very great game, but he's still working his way into playing shape at this point. So at 2-8, you evaluate this team. You still have Paul George and Joel Embiid playing together, which means you should be able to go out here and win some of these games. Yes, obviously a very tough game coming back against the Knicks, one of the top teams in the NBA and the East specifically this year, with Karl Anthony Towns being added to that team and Mikal Bridges as well. I do want to talk about one of the bright sides for this team, though. I mean, looking at this schedule going forward, it's definitely not easy for them, as the next few games that they have are against the Cavs, Magic, Heat, and Grizzlies. So it's going to be tough coming back. But after that, then you have the Nets, Clippers, Rockets, Pistons, Hornets. So a little bit of an easier schedule after these next 4 tough games, I would say, in my opinion, against some of the top teams in the East. And then obviously the Grizzlies as well, a top team in the West, with Ja Morant coming back this season. So what is going to be the main standpoint that you need to take if you are the Sixers right now? Yes, you want Joel Embiid to be able to ramp up, and yes, you want Paul George to continue to be playing well. But there's 2 guys that have been playing great for the Sixers in Joel Embiid's absence and Tyrese Maxey's absence so far, and it's rookie Jared McCain from Duke. He has been fantastic for this team when they have needed him so far, putting up career highs. Obviously, he's a rookie. He's only played a few games, but he's continued to improve almost every game, it seems like, to this point. Now, with a later first-round pick, they had expectations of him being able to crack the rotation and play some good minutes, but I don't think the team expected him to play this well so far. McCain, in his last 2 performances, has gone out and played very well. 23 points against the Knicks, 27 points against the Hornets as well, almost single-handedly bringing that team to the victory in that game, getting their 2nd win of the season. He has been fantastic, and while he is on the floor, the Sixers have been very good as well, because he's been able to get passes out and also go out there and get some hockey assists too. I mean, he is taking a lot out there. I mean, going out as a rookie right now, playing these tough minutes, going out and playing 30 plus minutes already in his past 3 games in Tyrese Maxey's absence. He has been great for this team so far, and that's why they've been able to stay afloat to this point. Without him, I don't know. It would be tough. They may be at 1-9 right now. I don't know if they would have even won that Hornets game, and this team would not be looking very good. But like I said, Paul George has been playing well. You want Joel Embiid to be able to ramp up those minutes, and obviously McCain playing well also helps. And a guy like Kelly Oubre, another very big guy for them, a guy that they would go expect to get maybe 15 points per game. He has struggled a little bit recently, but you would expect that he can come back into his own soon. 3 tough games in a row from the field, but he's still playing 30 minutes. You need him to step up as well. Now, coming back to the question that I proposed at the beginning of the video, are the Sixers cooked? 2-8, not great. Obviously, some tough games like I illustrated before coming up, but you need to bank on Joel Embiid and Paul George being able to play well together and both being able to go out there certain nights and carry this team to victories. Now you have 2 of your stars back. You should not be worrying about dropping these games because you need to go out there and win these games. If you go out here and you start losing more games and it continues to pile up, then you're really getting into a tough spot. 2-8 through the first 10 is not great. It's not good at all by any means, but to keep it honest, now that you have 2 of your top stars back, you should be able to go out there and perform. It's been very tough for this team so far, but there have been other guys that have stepped up in other players' absences. As we know, Paul George was hurt during the beginning of the season. Now Tyrese Maxey is out, and there's been other guys that have stepped up as well. Yabusele, a guy that the Sixers signed this offseason after a great performance in the Olympics this year, has come in and he's putting up 10.3 points per game. He's been great. Jared McCain has been turning it up throughout the past few games as well. Caleb Martin putting up 10 points per game. Kelly Oubre up to 15 points per game right now. So you need these guys to step up as well. You expect Joel Embiid to be able to get into that playing shape within the next few weeks, and you expect that a guy like Paul George, who knows how to go out there and put up buckets per game, put up 20 plus points per game, he should be able to go out there and play with Embiid. But the rest of these guys are the key. You're going to have some tough matchups. You're going to have some tough games throughout these next few stretches, especially without Tyrese Maxey, but you need to bank on your role players, and that's what the Sixers have done pretty well. I mean, you have a bunch of guys that are playing well right now, and also guys lower in the rotation that you would expect to have big games some nights. Guys like Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, yeah, they may not give you 30 points, but when you're playing on the road, you're playing at home, you really bank on some of those role players as well. And like they always say, role players play better at home. You're going to need some guys to step up throughout these next few weeks. So as of right now, through the first 10 games, 2-8, not a great record to say the least, but I don't think this team is officially cooked. I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs as of right now. If we take a look in maybe late December and this team's not close to 500, they're still very far behind, then I would definitely start to panic. But as of right now, I still think this team can go out there and make the playoffs. Even if they're a lower seed, these first 10 games, obviously almost an 8th through the season, because 82 games, as we know, it is kind of crazy to think that we're almost halfway through a 4th of the season, doing some quick math right there. But yeah, I don't think this team is officially cooked so far, but let me know down below. Do you guys think the Sixers are still going to make the playoffs, or have you lost complete hope for them? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.